get ready to dislike this video. Get ready to give it a thumbs down, because today I bring to you my most overrated prospects heading into the 2019 collegiate season. And when you tend to express your opinion, people tend to hate it. They tend to just dislike it. But it is what it is. But before that, what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, give me a sub, give me a thumbs up, and hit the bell if you like. Channel, it's steadily growing. I couldn't be more thankful. Thank you, and it's much appreciated, much obliged. If you really want to help this channel get discovered, share the content. Anyway, without further ado, my most overrated prospect headed into the 2019 season. It's actually a position group. It's every running back in this upcoming draft. The fact of the matter is, teams are passing the ball more. It's a passing league. In 2018, teams actually they only ran the ball on average 25.9 times per game, and that is the lowest in league history. It's no secret that running the football has been trending down for quite some time now. Running backs are currently the least valuable position on the field. The analytics at Pro Football Focus, they've shown that production on the ground is less about how good your running back is, and it's more indicative to scheme, box count, and down and distance. Even if your running back is good at catching the football, it's not as stable or as valuable as how good your receiver or your tight end is at catching the football. NFL teams are now hesitant to pay big money for running backs, and we've seen this. We've seen this with Le'Veon Bell, and just this year with Ezekiel Elliott and Melvin Gordon. Teams just don't want to pay them big money because there's a lot of risk involved with that. And we've even seen in the draft where few to no running backs go in the first round anymore. I mean, let's just look at last season. Only one running back went in the first round. That's because the Raiders had 3 picks. Pittsburgh's offense didn't miss a beat when former third-round pick James Conner took the reins over Le'Veon Bell. Journeyman Damian Williams took over for Kareem Hunt last season for the Chiefs, and the rushing success rate went up 9%. The Rams signed C.J. Anderson off the streets, and he filled in for Todd Gurley for 2 games and combined for 299 yards in those games. The Broncos drafted Royce Freeman in the 3rd round to compete to be the starter, yet it was undrafted free agent Philip Lindsay who ended up being the starter. The Seahawks drafted Rashad Penny in the 1st round, but former 7th round pick Chris Carson and free agent Mike Davis saw significantly more carries than Penny. Even undrafted free agent Gus Edwards had great success for the Ravens last season. Coaches know they could find guys later in the draft that fit their system, and that's why I don't have any running back with a 1st round grade. Now, if I had to pick a player from this position group to say is overrated, it's Jonathan Taylor from Wisconsin, who I've seen constantly mock in the 1st round and even talked about as a top 10 pick, which is ridiculous. He is a very talented downhill runner, but he has shown no capacity or ability to be a pass catcher. He only had 8 receptions in each of the last 2 seasons. If I were to make a comp, I would say he reminds me of Jordan Howard, who, by the way, went in the 5th round in the 2016 draft. Just like with Howard, when Taylor is on the field, it's almost a guarantee the team will be running the ball because of his limitations as a pass catcher and a pass blocker. Over the summer, Taylor said he is working hard to improve in the pass game, but as of now, I have him with a grade of the 3rd round. I've seen Walker Little often mocked as the first offensive lineman off the board, typically going in the top 10. It's not like I don't like Little. He was graded 4th in both pass blocking and running blocking in the Pac-12 last season, but in terms of bend and agility, he has a long way to go compared to some of the other tackles I had with 1st round grades. We saw it in 2018 draft where Jawan Taylor, Cody Ford, and Dalton Risner, they all fell to the 2nd round because they were questions about their athleticism, and that's where I have Little right now in my own rankings. You'll see Anthony Jennings mocked in the 1st round, but in actuality, he's a day 2 pick. The thing is, we don't know where to project him. Is he an edge guy or is he an off-the-ball linebacker? Now, he's very physical and skilled, but he lacks the desired explosion to play off the edge. He looks fine covering tight ends and running backs, but I mean, he's using his huge wingspan, it's monstrous, to help him bat balls, but there is a difference in the caliber of athlete between college and NFL. Will he still be able to hang with those guys in coverage at the next level? Too many questions about where he'll play at the next level. for me to make him a first round pick. There's a lot of hype around Colin Johnson, and there should be. While this receiving class is loaded, and I mean loaded to the brim with receivers, there aren't that many prototypical X receivers in the draft, and he's included in every first round mock draft that I've seen. Johnson has a big frame and is great at the contested catch point. However, I question his quickness and his ability to separate from defenders. While those contested catches look nice to you, you won't be able to see that same type of separation at the NFL level. I have him as a second round prospect right now, but I had the same worries about N'Keal Harry in this past draft, and he ended up going in the first round, so who knows. Here comes an overhyped prospect, because people are high on Derrick Brown, and I am not one of those guys. Brown, he is a good prospect, and I have him as a late first round pick, but based on his current production, he shouldn't be in the first half of the first round. He lacks the strength and first step you'd like to see from a blue chip defensive tackle. He's viable in the pass because he's great at how he uses his hands, and he could push the pocket. He's stout against the run, but he isn't elite. You'll typically see Trey Smith go in the middle of the first round in mock drafts. Matter of fact, I had him go 16th overall in my previous mock draft. However, outside of the medical concerns, and if you're unfamiliar, he dealt with blood clots in his lungs twice during 2018. See, I'm more concerned with if he'll play tackle or guard at the next level. Now, he graded really well in 2017 as a guard, but he looked so-so making the transition to left tackle last season. Understand that he was also dealing with those blood clots in the first half of 2018, so this season will be very telling what position he'll play and where he might fall. Right now, I have him as a fringe first-round pick. Raekwon Davis is the second of 3 Alabama players I have on this list. Davis is another name you'll see mocked in the first round, and I'm here to tell you this guy is more of a day 2 pick. He's explosive, he's powerful, but not athletic. He uses his long arms well in pass rush, but his play did decline in the 2018 season, but he is the unquestioned starter going into this season. This is a thin line class, so it will propel him up draft boards, but don't be fooled. As of now, this guy isn't a first round talent. Here comes the most unpopular opinion. When it comes to quarterback, people are talking about the big 3 being Tua, Herbert, and Fromm. Like they're interchangeable, and I disagree. I don't think Fromm is currently a top 5, even a top 10 prospect. I currently have him as a mid first round pick, but hear me out, all right? Now, there's a lot to like about Fromm as a prospect. He has an NFL arm, good size, great accuracy, but last season when this offense was sputtering, Fromm couldn't spark this offense himself. Currently, I see Fromm more as a game manager, kind of like Alex Smith, than an actual superstar quarterback, which that's still a great ceiling to have. Now, Fromm could easily come out and have a banger of a year, but I currently wouldn't put him at the same caliber of prospect as Tua or Herbert. Trayvon Diggs is receiving a lot of hype. Some are even putting him as the top corner in this draft. But this is all based on only 6 games. Don't get me wrong though. He played very well in those 6 games. He displayed great athleticism, quickness, and technique. But we're still talking about only a 6-game sample size. He shouldn't be included among Bryce Hall or Christian Fulton until we see a full year of play. Right now, I have him in that second round or second tier of cornerbacks and more with a second round draft grade. I don't know why people are already placing Jacob Eason as the 4th ranked quarterback in this draft. I mean, based on potential, yes, Eason could be that. He is a pro-style quarterback with an NFL arm. He showed good discipline and patience. However, this was all 2 years ago when he was a freshman at Georgia. Let's not put the carriage before the horse, okay? Eason may very well be a top quarterback in this draft, but can we at least see a game or 2 before we say he's a first-round talent, please? Please? Anyway, that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube stuff. Let me know all your hate down in the comment section below. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.